Hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Kind of Hannah. I'm your host, Hannah Lima. I think we would all agree that our world needs lots of kindness, and I'm so excited to bring you a show about all things kindness. For those of you who don't know, United Way plays a very important role in our community by providing access and resources that people need. They bring people and organizations together, forming strategic partnerships to strengthen our community. So today, we are going to discuss just exactly what the United Way is all about, the importance of service it provides, and how you can get involved in the community. This year alone, the United Way awarded $475,000 to local program and initiatives to provide services to Greater New Bedford residents. Wow, that is truly amazing. So I would like to welcome a very special guest, the President and CEO from the United Way of Greater New Bedford, Michelle Hantman. Michelle, and welcome. Thank you so much for being on my show and being the first guest. It's truly so special to me. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the United Way, what's its mission, and how you initially got involved?
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to be your guest. It's a pleasure, and this is a fabulous and impressive set that the school has here. So I'm happy to be here with you and to talk about one of my favorite subjects, which is the United Way of Greater New Bedford. Our official mission is to catalyze people, partnerships, and resources to strengthen the communities that we serve. And our United Way serves 9 communities, which include the city of New Bedford and the 8 surrounding towns between Dartmouth and Wareham. So really the Greater New Bedford region is our focus area. And how we really mobilize the resources can be anything from monetary donations to volunteerism. And I know that that is something that you've connected with us over your year, and it's all of the things that we do to inspire people to get involved, to give back to the community.
Wow, that's amazing. So what really drew you to the organization and influenced you to become the president and CEO? That's pretty incredible.
Thank you. Well, I don't think anything actually drew me to being in my role. I kind of fell into my role, but a little bit about that later. I was always very involved as a young person, as a student in service, and so growing up I was always very involved and active in my school, in my community, in fundraising and volunteering in different ways. United Way kind of presented itself as an opportunity through a family friend. About a year after I graduated college, and I was back home for the summer, and I got involved first as a volunteer. And I definitely think there's something to be said about being at the right place at the right time. My degree was in communication. I was volunteering at United Way, and shortly thereafter, the person that had been in their marketing and communications role was moving on, and they welcomed me to be in that role. And so my first stint at United Way was way back in 2000, and I've really kind of come up the ranks over the years, serving in 2 different roles. My first stint there was about 5 years, then I left. I went to another organization for 2 years, and now I've been back as the president and CEO for 16 years.
Wow.
And time really does fly when you're having fun, because 16 years sounds like a lot. It's a lifetime, but it's been a wild ride, and the work is always really important to me because there's so much work to be done. And so no year is the same, no day is the same, and it's always interesting. So I love what I do.
So your commitment to the United Way is truly inspiring, and I've been so fortunate to be a part of some of those community events that you hold. such as during Thanksgiving and preparing meals, which is just so amazing to see the whole community come together, all for the same cause, and provide meals for these families. Another one has been Power of the Purse, which I truly love. All that's getting dressed up and fun. It's truly all for just such an amazing cause, just all of it. And as well as the winter mobile markets, as we can see in the background, I've been a part of. So that just is like so humbling and rewarding to see those people just come, and you're there to provide food for them because they don't have that food at home, and it's not at their convenience. And so it's just so humbling to know that you're there to provide food for them, and the United Way is right there to support them in any way you can. So I truly appreciate all that you do. It's really amazing.
Thank you.
So next to, in lieu of that, so why is community service within the community so important?
Well, I think, every sector has a purpose, right? The private sector is there to do what it does. The public sector is there to do what it does. The nonprofit sector is always there to kind of fill the gaps. But aside from just the function of the nonprofit community and the services that are there to provide, there always needs to be more done. And it's really about the collective power of people doing what they can to really supplement and really fill those gaps. So certainly people giving back through community service, whether it's a young person doing it because they have to fulfill a requirement at school or church, or they're just doing it out of the kindness of their heart, the value to that is super important, not only to individual nonprofit organizations with very lean budgets, needing to rely on extra support, extra set of hands, but really the trickle effect that all of that has to the greater community and really affecting community change.
Absolutely, I completely agree. So can you just tell us maybe an example or a story about the benefits of serving the community through the United Way?
Sure. Well, I guess it depends, and because United Way interacts with lots of different people and and those different sectors, I would say that for the companies that we work with, there is great benefit to companies engaging with United Way. It helps with employee morale, employee retention, team building opportunities. We work with many of the companies in the region to support their corporate social responsibility goals to get their employees involved in the community and active projects. So certainly that fills a need, and it's a win-win not only for the company but also for the community and the people. And then for young people, it's a wonderful way to kind of experiment and get out there and be exposed to different things that maybe you wouldn't be aware of that are happening in the community, while at the same time acquiring new skills, meeting people, and it certainly doesn't hurt and looks good on a college application and other types of applications and resumes. But really, I think, regardless of your age, or even if you're a retired person looking to volunteer, the rewarding piece is really about that personal reward. And as you said, there is so much that comes from that, what you get out of helping somebody else. So I think that that's really what it's about. But certainly all of the folks that come together to serve, regardless of age or where they're coming from or where that opportunity stems from, they're really accomplishing something great.
Yeah, I completely agree. It doesn't matter what age you are, just get involved, and knowing that the community is there to support you. And as you said, there's always more to be done constantly as society keeps growing. So I agree with that. So I know the United Way always has fabulous volunteering opportunities for the community members to get involved in.
Yes.
So what are some of the current or future events that the community members, those of you who are watching, can get involved in at the moment?
So I'll kind of answer that in two ways, because United Way, not only do we have our own volunteer opportunities, but we also host volunteersouthcoast.org, which is a volunteer matching website that is free for anyone to use. I always encourage people to register and create an account, but you can also just go on the site and look at what's available. Nonprofits look to us to really help them find volunteers. So it could be an organization looking for just a volunteer or a set of volunteers to assist with their own event, or it could be an ongoing volunteer opportunity at their organization. But this site works 24/7, year-round, and the nonprofits are the ones going in there and listing what they have available. So that is something that is available to anyone of any age at no cost. And even for those folks that maybe are involved in nonprofit organizations, if the nonprofit that you're involved in isn't taking advantage of this, I would encourage them to. It's obviously free for the nonprofit as well. We really see volunteersouthcoast.org as a gift to the community that we provide. As far as United Way of Greater New Bedford opportunities specifically, it really depends on the year and it depends on the season and the different things that we have going on. We're still in the middle of our mobile market season, which ends at the end of this month. The holidays bring on a whole host of other ways that people can give back. We have Hunger Heroes coming up the weekend before Thanksgiving. That's a very sought after volunteer opportunity. People sign up and within about a half hour, usually all those slots are scooped up. So if that's something that interests people, I would say be aware and be ready to sign up for that. We also do a Spring Hunger Heroes. Both of those programs are meal packaging events. And I think you participated in one of those this year. And then, of course, we always have other things going on in the office where we always have small projects where sometimes we just need a couple of people to help us stuff envelopes. But if you're putting out a mailing of, say, 1,200 pieces of mail, that takes a lot of people folding to make it go quickly. So it can be something as simple as helping in the office to something as bigger scale as one of those meal packaging events. But we can always help people find volunteer opportunities. Even if we don't have something on site, we can certainly work with our nonprofit partners to help people find something that works for them and meets the needs of an organization.
Wow, that's so interesting. I never knew that before. So it's even good personally to know that you're working with others. So yes. I truly love that. So I lastly want to talk about, in your heart, what does kindness mean to you? Since that's all about my platform and all that I'm about.
Sure. So I think it's a beautiful message. It's a beautiful personal message and platform. I think kindness is the root of anything good. In order to have respect for others, in order to be selfless, it really has to stem from wanting to be kind. I have a 12-year-old son, and I always tell him, no matter what's most important in life is to be kind. And I think if you are kind to others, even if in the moment you're not always getting that back, I really think that comes back to you in spades. And I think that if more people were kind in our society, there would be so many things that would look different and feel different for us as a community, as a world. So certainly kindness is what the root of anything good comes from. And I really appreciate your message, and I wish that all young people really made it a priority to be kind, because I really think it would change a lot of things.
Right. That was very well said. I really appreciate you being here and you being part of the United Way of Greater New Bedford, which is just so amazing, so that others can get involved and know what it feels like to be part of a community and support others who are in need. So thank you so much for being on my show, especially being the first guest on my episode.
You're welcome.
And thank you for watching.